Dean and Nora Brannick, along with their 2 kids, move into their dream home in the upscale suburban neighborhood of Westfield, New Jersey. At first, everything seems perfect. The house is spacious, the neighborhood is peaceful, and they're excited for a fresh start. However, their excitement quickly turns to unease when they receive an ominous letter from someone calling themselves the Watcher. The letter, written in a disturbing and obsessive tone, reveals unsettling details about their family's personal life and claims that the house has been under surveillance for decades. The writer refers to their children as young blood and insists they are being watched at all times. Dean, growing increasingly paranoid, tries to reassure his wife but is visibly shaken. Things only get creepier as the Brannicks begin to meet their eccentric neighbors. Pearl, an elderly woman intensely focused on the house, warns them about preserving its history. Her brother Jasper is found lurking inside the house, hiding in the dumbwaiter. Meanwhile, another couple, Mitch and Mo, exhibit strange, almost menacing behavior. Determined to get to the bottom of the letters, Dean contacts the local police, but the authorities seem dismissive, suggesting it's likely a harmless prank. However, as more letters arrive, each more sinister than the last, Dean's paranoia escalates. He installs security cameras and takes drastic measures to protect his family, but the sense of unease only deepens. By the end of the episode, the Brannicks realize they are trapped in a nightmare. Their dream home has become a prison, and an unseen threat is closing in on them. As they struggle to uncover the identity of the Watcher, the mystery only grows darker, and their once idyllic life starts to unravel. After receiving more disturbing letters from the Watcher, Dean and Nora Brannick's paranoia reaches new heights. Dean, now obsessed with uncovering the stalker's identity, doubles down on security, installing more cameras and even patrolling the house at night. But despite his efforts, the sense of danger only intensifies. Meanwhile, the tension within the family grows. Nora begins to doubt Dean's mental state as his obsession with the Watcher consumes him. Their children, sensing the fear in their parents, start to feel unsafe in their own homes. The once perfect dream house has become a place of dread. Things take a more sinister turn when Dean learns from a private investigator, Theodora Birch, that their home has a dark history, one involving unsolved disappearances, strange rituals, and possible connections to cult-like activity. The phrase blood sacrifice begins to appear in the investigation, hinting at something far more terrifying than a simple stalker. Could the Watcher be part of a larger, more disturbing secret? The Brannicks also continue to face hostility from their bizarre neighbors. Pearl and Jasper become even more intrusive, while Mo and Mitch openly mock their fears, suggesting the family should just embrace the house's history. Are they involved in the sinister past of the home? Or do they know more than they're letting on? With the mystery deepening, Dean spirals further into desperation. His paranoia drives him to follow a potential suspect, but this only leads to more dead ends, and more questions. As the episode concludes, a shocking event shakes the Brannick family to their core, reinforcing the terrifying idea that they are trapped in something far bigger than themselves. With the Watcher lurking in the shadows and an ominous history beginning to surface, the Brannicks must face a chilling truth: their nightmare is just beginning. Dean, now consumed by paranoia, becomes increasingly aggressive in his search for answers. He starts tracking every suspicious movement in the neighborhood, convinced that someone close is behind the terror. Meanwhile, Nora struggles to hold the family together as their children grow more afraid of their own home. The mystery deepens when Theodora uncovers more unsettling details about 657 Boulevard's history. She reveals that the house may have been at the center of multiple eerie occurrences over the decades, including unsolved disappearances, tragic deaths, and a bizarre pattern of previous owners fleeing in fear. The phrase Götterdämmerung, meaning Twilight of the Gods, appears in one of the new letters, hinting at an apocalyptic or cult-like significance behind the Watcher's motives. Dean's descent into obsession leads him to suspect their odd neighbors. Pearl and Jasper continue their unsettling behavior, and the elderly couple, Mo and Mitch, act even more cryptic. Dean confronts them in a heated exchange, but their vague responses only fuel his paranoia. Meanwhile, a new theory emerges: could a former owner of the house still be watching from the shadows, unwilling to let go of their claim? A shocking attack leaves the Brannicks questioning whether they're being hunted or if they have become the real threat. The fear escalates when Dean and Nora discover hidden passages within the house, raising terrifying new questions. Has someone been watching them from inside all along? The Brannicks face their darkest realization yet: the danger is closer than they ever imagined, and escape may no longer be an option. Nora struggles to keep their children safe while Dean finds about his daughter's relationship with Dakota, the security boy. Theodora uncovers a disturbing connection between the Watcher's letters and a former resident who vanished under mysterious circumstances. Meanwhile, An eerie new letter arrives, taunting the Brannocks with intimate knowledge of their private conversations, proving that the stalker is much closer than they ever feared. Desperation leads Dean to install hidden cameras and conduct late-night stakeouts, convinced that one of their neighbors is responsible. Dean follows a mysterious figure in the dead of night, only to be confronted with a terrifying revelation: someone has been watching them from the shadows all along. As tensions rise, Nora begins to question whether Dean's growing paranoia is putting their family in more danger than the Watcher itself. The lines between reality and delusion blur as strange occurrences inside the house escalate. Someone within their inner circle might know more than they're letting on. As the Brannocks edge closer to the truth, the real horror becomes clear: the Watcher isn't just observing them. The Watcher is waiting for something, and whatever it is, it's coming soon. Dean and Nora Brannock become more desperate to escape the nightmare surrounding their home. Dean's paranoia reaches a dangerous level, straining his marriage and making him question everyone, including himself. As the walls close in, the Brannocks realize that no one can be trusted, not even the authorities, who seem unwilling, or unable, to help. A new letter from the Watcher, more threatening than ever. This time, it doesn't just taunt them, it warns them. The message suggests that something terrible will happen if they don't leave soon. Dean takes matters into his own hands, confronting the odd and suspicious neighbors once again. Pearl and Jasper's obsession with the house seems almost ritualistic. With every passing day, it becomes harder to tell who is a real threat and who is just another victim of 657 Boulevard's dark history. Meanwhile, Theodora Birch continues her investigation and presents a chilling theory. What if the Watcher isn't just one person? What if multiple people, across generations, have played a role in tormenting the homeowners of 657 Boulevard? This revelation shakes the Brannocks to their core, making them realize that they're caught in something far bigger than a simple stalker case. In a shocking twist, a lead points toward an unexpected suspect, someone the Brannocks never thought to question. Nora's friend Karen and the local Deepening are in relationship. Now the Brannocks realize that they can't trust anyone. With the help of Dakota, Dean and family finally confronts the suspect. What he discovers sends chills down his spine, proof that someone has been inside their house, watching them from the shadows. When a horrifying event forces the Brannocks to make an impossible decision: stay and fight, or run and risk never knowing the truth. But with the Watcher still lurking, one thing becomes certain: the nightmare is far from over. Dean woke up in a panic, convinced he heard someone inside the house. But when he investigates, there's no one there, only the eerie silence of a home that no longer feels like their own. Dean and Nora uncover the previous owners never truly escape, their lives continue to unravel long after they leave. As the pressure mounts, Dean starts to lose his grip on reality. He becomes obsessed with hidden passages and secret rooms in the house, convinced that someone is living inside the walls. As the Brannocks realize they are no longer alone, where someone's been living, the family makes a fateful decision. Dean, now consumed by fear and desperation, obsesses over the history of the house. His paranoia has grown so severe that he begins seeing figures in the windows and hearing whispers in the walls. Meanwhile, Nora, exhausted and terrified, wants nothing more than to escape with their children before it's too late. But the Watcher won't let them go so easily. Theodora Birch, who has been the Brannocks' greatest ally in uncovering the truth, makes a shocking confession, one that changes everything they thought they knew. She claims that she is the Watcher and that all the torment was orchestrated by her as part of a twisted game. However, as she weakens from her terminal illness, her confession becomes increasingly unreliable. As the Brannocks prepare to leave 657 Boulevard for good, Dean's obsession reaches its peak. He begins to see connections where no one else does, convinced that the Watcher is still watching, perhaps even closer than before. After the family sold the house, Nora's friend Karen buys it and starts her living. But days later she receives letters from the Watcher and her life turns upside down, leaving the mystery unsolved and the haunting presence of 657 Boulevard lingering long after the credits roll. Was the Watcher ever just one person, or is the house cursed to continue its cycle of paranoia and fear? The truth remains as elusive as ever, ensuring that the terror of the Watcher will never truly end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos.